All right, Xfinity at Chicago Street Course. I thought I could do a little bit faster than this, but I tried for like half an hour after and I could improve. So this is what I got for you guys. I'll play the lap first and then we'll go over it. All right. So I'll go over the gears as we go through here. So first off, I stay in third here. I actually don't do that. As I was doing future attempts, even though I never got a better lap time, I like going into fourth again. I think you can go just as fast, but I was testing like what I had more stability under braking with, being in top of third or in fourth and having to do 2 downshifts. And I like the fourth and 2 downshifts better than the third. I was getting less wheel hop starting in fourth. You can see how I was wheel hopping there. I actually took most wheel hop out by going into fourth right before we start downshifting. So that's all right. But you can get similar lap time here. So fourth and then go into second. I never go below second, okay? So there might be 1 or 2 corners where going first might be beneficial for qualifying, but I just find it so sketchy that I just want to keep it in second no matter how slow the corner is. So my braking point here is going to be right before my hood goes over these arrows here. If I'm braking on the arrows themselves, it's too late. So just right before the arrows. Keep your wheel in a straight line as you're braking. Wait until you're all the way down to second before you start turning. And then try to get as late here as possible. So I did a decent job here. We can see how close we got to the wall here. Fairly close. You can get a little closer than that even. But you want to get as late on the wall as possible. So if I could late apex this just a little bit more, that'd be perfect. But you don't want to disengage your rear tires as you're turning. And then smooth on throttle. Very important in this combo to be smooth. Smooth, 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 smooth. Notice I don't even go to full here. Okay, and then we're straight into turn 2. I want to start all the way outside here. So you have to be very proactive on getting to the outside off of turn 1. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do a little bit of hard braking while I'm still on the straightaway and then trail off into the turn and really try to catch this late. So like if you apex too early on this wall, it's going to be so slow. So you really want to try to catch that. This groove here with the tire tracks is really good and all. I find that turning in that late is really hard in this Xfinity car because it disengages the rears. So I try to stick as close as I can to that dark groove, but without overstepping the grip of my rear tires. And then pick up the throttle right when I hit apex. If you can beat apex a little bit with the throttle, that'd be great, but I couldn't really do that very often. And again, smooth throttle, very, very smooth throttle. I don't remember if this counts as a turn or not, but this right here, you can just full throttle just about. I think I lifted a little bit. I've full throttled it before. It doesn't really get you much though, because you really need to be stable. You don't want to be loose or anything coming off of here, because I'm going straight into a brake. So right after I leave this little loopy loop here, I just get on the brake immediately, try to put it in third immediately, and then second as early as you can without spinning your tires. You can wait a little bit, but you should just be able to roll it in second into here. You can really send this super duper hard, but I find that it doesn't get you much. Like it does, but not for the consistency. So for consistency's sake, just put into second early and be able to just roll it through the corner. And I try to keep it really, it's really easy to try to apex here, but you want to apex here, like right here. So I just stay on that trail brake just a little bit through that first part of the wall and then be ready. A little bit wider than I want to be there. In perfect world here, I enter here a little bit wider so that I can apex right here a little bit better so that I have a straighter shot out of here. But it just did the job pretty much. All right, breaking point for me here is going to be right where the dark stuff begins right here. If you go to the 4, it's already too late. For whatever reason, this road's really rough, and I could never get a solid break out of it. Like, that's about as good as I could get. I was always wheel hopping. I'm sure in the race you might want to even break a little bit earlier than that just to avoid wheel hop. But this is what I could do for qualifying. So again, to second. So, sorry, I missed gears. Second, third, fourth, third, second through here. Roll second, and then third, fourth, and then fourth, third, second. It's going to be really hard. I just find this exceptionally hard to hit this left-hander more than any other corner. Might maybe break a little bit earlier than me, but I think it's just this bump right there that just makes it really hard. Right there. You see how the wheel hops right there? Oh, yeah, look at that. It just goes airborne. Oh, it goes airborne. No wonder it can't turn. Oh, maybe go a little bit wider to avoid that. I never realized that. Look at the wheel just stop. Wow. I did not realize that. Interesting. Anyways, smooth throttle off of here. I keep it in second. No real reason to go into third here. And then once you hit the downhill, start braking. And this is one of those corners where theoretically you could go into first. I don't love going into first here, but I can see it being technically probably maybe faster. And then a little off throttle here so that I can really set myself up for this right here. So if you take this too shallow, like I was on the very edge of taking that too shallow. If you take it too shallow, you're not going to make this. So you really want to get a little bit of a cut into this right-hander. And then take this a little bit more aggressive than I did here. I think I took it a little too easy here. I think you can gain about 1/10 on me. Maybe 2/10 here. Do a little bit of a diamond. Go a little hard on the throttle, let it wash up a bit, and then cut back down right here. If you cut back down right here, you'll still end up in the same spot I'm in, and you just carried a little bit more speed. But you want to be really easy. This is so super duper narrow. So it's going to feel really easy to want to send this, but I just roll throttle into here. Little throttle just because it's an awkward space here. And then hard on the brake. Again, maybe first gear works here. I'm not sure. I like second. So I'm just second all the way through. Second. It's just all second. Everything from – Yeah, everything from here on out is second until we get the final straight. So second all through here, second all through here, second all through here, right-hander, second. And again, you don't need a shift. We're catching the top end of the range there. I like braking right about these arrows here if you're driving over them. You might be able to get a little bit more aggressive than that, but again, it's on a downhill. It's very sketchy already. I struggled to push the brake anything more than that. So the alien Bobby Z ran almost a 130 flat. 2.5 seconds off on a street course is about where I tend to sit. So, and it's mostly just because my braking is terrible, to be quite honest. So, hopefully the lines are helpful enough in terms of the race. Really avoid that first gear. Avoid any pushing that will spin your rear tires. Like that's gonna be killer. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hope to see you all on the track.